was back in '91 that I first had the privilege of listening to cousins Odell and Joe Thompson play the music that had been handed down to them through generations. In '94, Odell passed away, and Joe was faced with the possibility of having to give up his music.
It was a pretty tough decision to make.
But with encouragement from friends, the decision he made was to keep playing.
I started playing with him full-time in '94 when Odell died. And that was because I didn't want to see him stop, honestly. And I think that summer he would have stopped.
Music historian and banjo expert Bob Carlin was one of the few people that knew Odell's style of playing music and could emulate it. He and Joe played concerts all over the country until 2001 when there was another setback. Joe had a stroke.
I thought then I wouldn't play no more. It was hard. I couldn't get this hand to do right.
Slowly he recovered the use of that hand because his character was strong and his faith was stronger.
I don't care what you do, the man up yonder got a hand in it. You have to talk to him.
And thankfully, that man up yonder has granted us the privilege of having Joe to listen to still.
He's the last African-American string band musician in North Carolina, probably, left playing, of that generation that learned the way he did, that had music in his family. He may be the last one in the United States.
And it's with great pride I can say I know him and call him one of Roy's folks. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News.
Now this is the first engine I ever bought and restored.
First time, every time.
Willard Moore loves old engines like this. They were once used to power just about everything. No, not pencil sharpeners. That Willard's got a sense of humor, doesn't he? But things like drill presses.
Now this is the first drill press I ever owned. I bought it from Sears Roebuck. I was a teenager when I bought this drill press.
About this time every year, Willard cleans up the cobwebs, dusts off his machinery, and invites folks to his farm in Jamestown. For 32 years now, Willard and a group of his friends have demonstrated antique machinery for folks to raise money for the Lions Club.
I approached the club that we could sell ads and charge a little admission, make a little money. So that's the way it started.
Maintaining old equipment like this isn't easy, but you can tell from the twinkle in Willard's eye it's a labor of love, raising money for his favorite charity. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News. Scott Murkin is a medical doctor at urgent care in Asheboro. But needles and stitching are more a part of his hobby than his profession.
I was in my last year of residency when I made my first quilt.
That was back in 1994, but he came by his newfound passion honestly.
I grew up around quilters. My grandma was a quilter, and her sister, my great aunt Susie, and my aunt. And so I always grew up around quilts, and we always had quilts in the family.
He learned quilting through osmosis, just being around it, no formal teaching.
This is a pattern that I had.
But he obviously learned well, for today he teaches and has earned worldwide recognition.
My quilts have been exhibited in 39 different states, 7 different foreign countries, and have been probably in about 20 different national publications. This is called Randolph Autumn.
The patterns for his quilts are all of his own design. But it's the craftsmanship and the pattern of the stitches themselves that makes a quilt a quilt.
And the quilting is the most interesting part because it's what gives the quilt texture, and it's the one part that quilters have that no other textile artist has.
You can see from his work this man's a real artist, and told me that as a youngster he was quite ambivalent about what he wanted to do.
Actually, in 7th grade, I was going to be an artist, and then in 8th grade, I was going to be a doctor. So in a way, I've kind of done both of them.
Scott Murkin, the artist, and Scott Murkin, the doctor. What do the two have in common? Patience. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News.
Well, these are beautiful. Here, look at that, the way they hang.
Around Arche Craver's house, everywhere you look, you see gourds. I mean, lots of gourds.
Oh, I just bought some seed several years, about probably 15 years ago, and just planted them and kept messing with them after that, and just keep on growing them.
My goodness, look at that.
Archie grows them and keeps them.
They've got in there from 1 year to 10 years old. Wow. That takes time to build.
Yeah.
Before hanging them up to dry, he carefully scrapes the green skin off each of the gourds.
The bigger they are, the longer it takes.
It's a messy job, so he's got a special shirt that he uses to protect himself.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it away when I get through because it's so dirty I can't clean it.
Every now and then he gets a little help from the cat. And this year, Archie could use some help with this bumper crop of gourds.
Well, I ain't going to get it all done. Some of them won't get cleaned up. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
I'll scrape on until I get tired of fooling with them. Try to get the best looking ones fixed.
Yeah.
He grows several different kinds of gourds, mostly differentiated by size and shape and color. And at a time of year when most folks are thinking of witches and pumpkins and black cats, not Arche Craver. He's just a nice guy with gourds and a white cat. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News. This little white building outside Walnut Cove is Helen's florist. Inside is Helen Morton, who is preparing for a weekly visitor.
Yeah, good
For
morning.
years now, Geneva Martin's been stopping by to get hugs and pick up flowers.
I donate flowers every week to Geneva. And she carries them to the hospital and fixes them for the patients, which they thoroughly enjoy. Thank you for my flowers.
Geneva, who is a volunteer for Hospice, is on her way to Stokes Reynolds Memorial Hospital in Danbury, where her work begins.
My mother loves flowers.
She cuts the flowers, making separate arrangements for individuals, keeping in mind their specific likes and dislikes.
This little lady loves red. Ah, how are you this morning? Got your favorite color, too. Do you see the red?
Geneva's first encounter with Hospice was when her own brother was sick.
Bye.
And she experienced firsthand the wonderful service these people provide. Now, as a volunteer herself, she says she receives far more than she gives.
And you doing what you think is right and what you would like to be done for you, and then they will say something to you to make you know that it works both ways.
These volunteers perform so many important services. The hospital says they could never afford to do it themselves.
Brought you fresh flower
Geneva
today.
hopes that when she's no longer able to perform these duties, someone else will take her place.
But I'll always hope and pray that the will.
Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News.
There's mushrooms everywhere.
At Dark Hallow Farm, a new crop is being harvested from rather unusual places.
And we've got about, I'm guessing about 1,500 logs now.
These carefully cultivated fabulous fungi are shiitake mushrooms. Grown on oak logs, they're harvested in the spring and in the fall.
So, yeah, just get it right at the bottom and go.
Wow. Beautiful.
We first visited the farm when they were inoculating the oak logs with mushroom spawn.
That's what ends up in there.
The holes were sealed with wax and the logs were stacked to sit until the time was right.
I go around, give it a good one. What that does is wake the mushroom up, introduce it to fruit. I can get a little rhythm going out here.
For some strange reason known only to Mother Nature herself, the hammering stimulates the mushrooms to appear.
This mushroom here might be a day or two old. This one here might be 3 to 4 days old. Once they reach this stage, they turn into that overnight and then to this the next night.
The mature mushrooms release their spores looking almost like smoke.
Wow.
To ensure future generations.
That's amazing. Look at how much is coming out of there.
Rich and Deb are working on ways to make what looks like a woodpile into something a little more attractive, like this mushroom gazebo.
This building, this cabin, will fruit for 10 to 20 years.
Which means for years to come, the fungus will be among us. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News. When settlers first came to this country from all over the world, one of the few things they brought with them was their musical heritage. As they settled across the state, distinctive musical styles developed, and that included the Piedmont. Today, we think of country and bluegrass, but author Bob Carlin has written a book that sheds new light on the subject.
The book's about string band music in North Carolina's Piedmont, probably from about settlement through the 1960s. The reason I did it on the Piedmont of North Carolina, partially because I live here, and partially because no one had really done it.
The past 15 years, Bob has searched and researched, gathering up various pictures and stories. An amazing number of different cultures are found throughout the Piedmont, and many performers once well recognized have now become obscured by time.
I mean, these are all people that are pretty much known to their families, but they're not, with a few exceptions, celebrated for doing what they did.
Bob theorizes that what people did back then is perhaps not fully appreciated now.
We as a society often ignore the people at the ground level. I mean, history happens to real people. History is not just big events.
But thanks to Bob's new book, the history of string band music will be preserved.
As the great-grandchildren and the great-great-grandchildren go, sort of try to reclaim their family heritage, they're going to return to this stuff.
Thus keeping the strings of history intact. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News. In North Carolina, it's not just the leaves on the trees that turn a golden color every year. Tobacco turns a golden color as well, encouraged by man with a technique called curing. In this case, cured by an old-fashioned wood-fired barn.
It's kind of novelty, and it just brings back a lot of memories from my childhood.
Jimmy Morgan uses this old barn because he doesn't grow that much tobacco, and it wouldn't be cost-effective to buy new modern equipment. Besides, running this old barn takes a certain degree of skill that Jimmy revels in.
One has to just go in and look at it and say, well, it's time to do this or it's time to do that, and sometimes you have to guess at it. Sometimes if the tobacco doesn't cooperate with you, there are a few little tricks you can use in this type of barn. And the thing I like about this barn, you can actually go in and you can look at the tobacco. Often in the boat barn, you can't really see it.
Doing it this way is labor intensive. During the off-season, you got to split wood for the fire. And once the fire's started, you got to stay with it, which had its upside. Jimmy's daughter brought some potatoes to bake in the fire. So the barn soon became the social center of the farm.
There was always somebody curing a barn or two of tobacco around, and if you wouldn't go to their house to visit them, you'd go to the barn, because that's where they would be. I would just say that some of the best times I've ever spent, regardless of whether I was a young fella or even now, is around these old barns, because you get to hear a lot of things, and as you get older, you reminisce a lot. A lot of good stories told, and most of them true.
The truth is, there aren't many barns left. But thanks to Jimmy Morgan, the coals of history are still glowing. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News.
You see a lot of deer and wild turkeys out here in these fields. Yeah, oh my God, it's paradise. It's paradise.
Sparky and Margaret Sparkman have worked at the Bluffs Lodge in Doughton Park up on the Blue Ridge Parkway for a couple of decades now. They love it up here.
The beauty of the whole area and the peace and the quiet. I can't describe it.
Margaret runs the office and does the bookkeeping here at the lodge.
Hello.
While Sparky is manager of the entire complex. The two have been innkeepers since they got married back in 1960. They started out at Mammoth Cave, Kentucky.
In 1967, we came to the Blue Ridge Parkway at Crabtree Meadows. And we spent 17 years down there. And 1984, we was transferred up here to Doughton Park. And we've been here 21 years. Hello.
The facilities are only open from May till October, but during that time, it's a 7-day-a-week job, one that Sparky loves.
I knew when I started working at Mammoth Cave in 1959 that that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I've never looked back.
As the '04 season draws to an end, so does the tenure of Sparky and Margaret. You see, they're retiring and plan to spend as much time as they can savoring the sights of the place they've loved for so long.
But we are going to miss it, and we're going to miss all the people that come and our employees. We're going to miss them.
It's the next place to heaven. Really, it's true.
And just like anyone who ever stays here, they'll be back. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News. It was 1949 when the Bluff Lodge Coffee Shop first opened on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
I was a teenage girl and, you know, just out of school and having my first job. Goodness, I didn't even know what steak sauce was.
Well, she does now.
What can I get for you?
Ellen Smith has been here since the doors opened.
It's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of interesting people, and we've had them from all over the U.S. and part of Europe.
A couple of years after Ellen started here, her friend Catherine Joyne started to work.
We've enjoyed it. We enjoy being together. We tell each other we're sisters, what to drink.
For the last half a century, the restaurant at the Bluffs has kept Ellen and Catherine busy.
Any news in these parts?
Wait on customers, and if they need a cook in the kitchen, I'll go in there and help out, or just anything, we go do it.
Sometimes we're very tired. Like when we've had 700 or 800 on Sunday afternoon, and that's my 5th day. We're kind of wore out.
Yeah.
Hello.
After all these years, both of them have considered retirement.
In the fall, we're ready to get out. In spring, we're ready to come back.
Yeah. Just like so many places on the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Bluffs Lodge and Restaurant has a lot of history. But so do Ellen and Catherine. In their case, it's a living history.
See you next summer, maybe.
Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News.
Okay, so are we ready? Let's go!
Several dozen supporters turned out to help Susan and Bubba Crutchfield to complete their long journey.
All right, 3 left!
The group walked with the Crutchfields for the last 3 miles of their hike. It all began as an excuse to get out of the gym and away from the treadmill, but it turned into a fundraiser for several local charities. They walked the entire Blue Ridge Parkway, but they did it in sections, parking the car, walking out, then walking back to the car. So actually, they ended up walking the entire parkway twice.
I can tell you we walked 1,460,000 steps, though.
How'd you determine that?
Well, we measured our step, and it was exactly a yard, and we walked 1,000 miles, and there's 1,460 yards in a mile.
And in so doing, they learned something that most parkway visitors can't.
You just don't see it the way you see it when you walk it.
You're walking along and it's shaded and overgrown and the trees are everywhere, and then all of a sudden there's just this open area that you're not expecting, that's this incredible view, and it just takes your breath away. Just almost around every corner there's a new surprise awaiting, you know.
Many of the people who walked with them those last few miles had donated money that went to various charities in Mitchell and Avery counties, including the Orchard at Alta Pass Foundation.
It's one of those things that when somebody asks you what you do or who you are, you can say, well, I can tell you something I've done in my life, and I thought this was a real accomplishment.
They say every journey begins with a first step. Well, the Crutchfields say this one ends with tired feet and smiles. Roy Ackland, Fox 8 News.